guys, it's Amy. We are kicking off our Riverwalk walk at Sparkman's Wharf. It's kind of the de facto start of the Riverwalk. It's a 2.6 mile, completely free, open 24/7, 365 walking trail along the river in Tampa Bay. We're gonna show you some of the biggest spots to see, like Curtis Hickson Park, Amalie Arena, some of our art museums, and way more. And we are gonna eventually end up at Armature Works, which is a fantastic venue for food and drink and culture here in Tampa Bay. I hope you guys enjoy this and get to know a little bit more about our Riverwalk and the exciting things that have popped up in the past few years.
All right, folks, this is the entrance to Sparkman Wharf, really fantastic. Now, right along here, that's where the cruise ships park, and you see they have these containers that are fun little vendors. So whether you want to get some brisket, you want to get some barbecue, you want some ice cream or dessert, a whole variety of containers, little restaurants, street food for you to check out, all along this line in a very safe environment. And this turns into kind of a nightclub fun environment at night.
Sparkman Wharf is a vibrant part of Tampa's downtown waterfront. It's newly renovated and it's absolutely gorgeous. So if you're taking a cruise, it's a great place to stop and have an evening snack or maybe get a few drinks. We'll show you in a minute, but there's a really cool trendy bowling alley down here. There's places to get ice cream, falafel, and a lot of taco shops. So make sure to try several different of these really fun local restaurants. It's also within walking distance of Amalie Arena. So if you're hitting a big time comedy event, maybe a show or a Tampa Bay Lightning game, this is a place that a lot of people will go after the game to celebrate, throw back a few, and enjoy the local ambiance, maybe a band, and have a good time. As Amy pointed out, the Riverwalk starts here at Sparkman's Wharf. It's 2.6 miles and it goes down the Hillsborough River.
Thank you. All right, so we're at Sparkman's Wharf and I decided to get myself a couple tacos. Just got regular beef tacos. They also have something called puffy tacos, which she explained are deep fried pockets of tacos and beef. Super fun, but I wanted a little bit healthier tacos with your regular beef tacos. Can't wait to try it out.
So I'm definitely a foodie who's in it for the food. And when we get to the end of this adventure, we stop at Armature Works. Amy's gonna get some falafel and I'm gonna get an ice cream. But this is just a fun place to have a few snacks and have a good time at the beginning of your journey. And you can see the view of the channel is absolutely gorgeous. And this place is popping at night with trivia on Tuesday, live bands, and all sorts of fun activities. It's dog friendly, pet friendly, family friendly, and there's a lot to do. Just stay in the shade. It gets a little hot during the day.
All right, folks, right behind me is Splitsville. This has been a part of Tampa for a long time now. Even when this was known as Channelside, Splitsville was here. There's a really cool bowling alley that has a beautiful bar, a lot of good food, and this is really happening. Now, most days of the week, they open at 4, Fridays they open at 1, and they stay open till close, which means that it depends on what's going on. If there's a hockey game in the area or there's a big cruise, something going on, they're gonna stay open a little later. But Splitsville is a really fun, family-friendly entertainment venue that you're going to want to check out. All right, folks, our first stop is the StarShip Cruises. This is a great place to have a dinner cruise.
Yeah, they do a lot of dinner cruises with a DJ, maybe even breakfast and brunch cruises with bottomless mimosas, all sorts of fun stuff. In Tampa Bay, you can see an awesome sunset or a sunrise, and it's a really, really fun adventure.
So really unlimited activities that you can do right here in Tampa.
Okay, so we are starting on the Tampa Bay Riverwalk, and the first thing that you're going to see if you are headed from Channelside or Sparkman's Wharf down the river is the Tampa Bay History Center. It's an amazing museum to check out, and they do have a Columbia Cafe, and yes, it is the Columbia, the very famous, probably oldest restaurant in the United States, a Spanish-style restaurant where you can get some really, really good paella.
All right, folks, our next stop on the Riverwalk is the Amalie Arena, formerly known as the Ice Palace. This is the home of the Tampa Bay Lightning since the mid-90s. It seats 20 to 21,000 people, depending on the configuration, 493 feet in diameter, a beautiful venue for a variety of performances and one of the biggest of its type in the Tampa Bay area.
I just want to point out that all along the 2.6 miles of the Riverwalk, you are going to be met with gorgeous flora, fauna, the river, some beautiful yachts, and some gorgeous private residences. Everything that makes Tampa Bay great and makes Tampa Bay home.
And on the other side here, this is Harbor Island, one of the nicer areas to live in the Tampa Bay area. Beautiful condos and high-rise development right next to downtown. So if you have a big-time job in Tampa Bay, you don't have to live out in the suburbs. You live on the island right by Tampa Bay, and it's really, really nice.
And here's just a look at what it's like to actually walk the trail itself. Really beautiful brick trail, surrounded by palm trees, with plenty of shade, park benches, and just a lot of fun. This is a Saturday when it's very busy, but go on a weekday and it's a little more secluded, a little more quiet.
All along the way, you are going to find playgrounds, dog-friendly areas, and gorgeous docks where you can take out your own stand-up paddleboard or kayak, or maybe meet up with a water taxi.
Along the route, there's actually plenty of parks for your kids, and you can imagine that they decorate this up for holidays, and it's a blast for special events.
All right, folks, so next to the Marriott in downtown, you've got a Westin across the street and a place to dock your boats. And of course, this is very close to the Tampa Convention Center. So if you have a big convention in town, whether that's sports or anything of the sort, you can stay at the Marriott and enjoy the Riverwalk as well. Not far from the cruise port, the aquarium, and everything in between. Tons of dining too. We've only scratched on the surface of the dining that's available in this area. Obviously, we're not going to be able to cover it all in a single video. But yeah, absolutely beautiful. And I got to tell you, it is very dog friendly. If you happen to have a beautiful pooch, it's a great place. And all along the water are waterside bars with a great view. Michael Vinnick and the crew have done a great job with Tampa Bay, making it a very walkable, livable area, and really one of the more up-and-coming cities in the United States when it comes to safety, convenience, and just opportunity. There's a lot of opportunity here. Now coming up, we talked about the StarShip. Well, here's where one of the ships is parked, as well as a couple of the water taxis. Tampa's made famous for its water taxis and for our trolleys. Yeah, those San Francisco style trolleys, they run here too. But we also have the water taxis that take you up and down the water. So since this is a 2-mile walk up and down the river, I have the opportunity that I can take the taxi back if I want. That may be a solution. You get a little overheated because, let's face it, Tampa's hot. You can always sit down on one of these beautiful water taxis and take it back. These are the ones that are parked, but there are currently a variety of taxis running. Now over here, if you notice, Tampa Riverwalk rentals underneath the bridge to Davis Island, I believe, or Harbor Island. You can rent your kayaks and your water equipment, your bikes, and that just makes it really, really convenient. They're open from 11 to 5 during the week, and you can see, get yourself a kayak and get your exercise in. Just a really, really beautiful opportunity here.
And if you're looking for a thrill ride, that leaves from here too. This is the Tampa BayRocket. It's a 55-minute thrill ride, 2,800 horsepower boat that's going to jet you through the water, shake you up, get you wet, and you're gonna have a whole lot of fun. And if that's not your speed, don't worry. There's plenty of smaller boat rentals to be had. You can pick up anything from a kayak to a two-person tiny little boat. And as we stated before, lots of little places to stop and get a drink right along the waterside. Rent your vehicles, pull up your boat. Across the way, that's Jackson's, a very well-known bar slash kind of nightclub environment. Beautiful there. And then if you look in the distance behind this area is going to be the entrance to the convention center. Yeah, the convention center in Tampa, conveniently located. They didn't put it out in the suburbs or in the middle of nowhere or in a less desirable spot. The convention center, which we're coming up to right here, is absolutely beautiful with a lot to do. This is host to cheerleader competitions, and I know I went to the military kind of Olympics here. A lot of fun things going on, so make sure to check out the convention center as well. Oh yeah, and before I forget, you can see these two larger buildings are the Marriott, and I believe, is that the Embassy Suites? Yeah. So Marriott and Embassy Suites, JW Marriott, and these have great views of the water from here, right over the port. Just absolutely beautiful, and across from the hospital. Yeah, Tampa has its hospital, who's been here for a long time, right on the river, and you don't see that very often, right off in the distance.
So right across the river from us, you're gonna see a pirate ship. And this is said to be Jose Gaspar's pirate ship that may or may not have ever actually existed and may or may not have actually invaded Tampa Bay, but please don't tell people from Tampa that it's not real, because we celebrate this as a real historical event every year at Gasparilla. Gasparilla, if you don't know, is Tampa's version of Mardi Gras. It's a very, very fun pirate-themed festival, and it starts over in Bayshore, and it actually invades up to Curtis Hickson Park, which we're going to show you in a moment. It is along the Riverwalk itself, where pirates actually take over our city for a weekend, and we have a weekend of pirate revelry and enjoy all that has to offer.
You know, Amy, one of the things I like?
The shade. One of the best things about passing by the gigantic convention center is that it does offer a respite from the heat. You have probably a tenth, maybe close to a quarter of a mile where you get to walk in the shade before you do some formidable stairs up here and get around the convention center.
Yeah, and something worth noting, there's a lot of exercise, people running up and down the stairs of the convention center. Over here is the longest continuous sidewalk in the world, Channel Side. Really beautiful area. And even the earlier spots where we're more in the parks, there is a lot of shade from trees. So they've done a good job of helping protect you from all the heat.
So what we can't show you during the day is that at night, all of this is lit up absolutely beautifully. And they've really invested in some cool lighting. So we're gonna show you in some overlays what this looks like at night. It's really, really impressive.
If you look closely in the Hillsborough River, it's not uncommon to see manatees and dolphins in the area. And for you athletes, there's a lot of dragon boat competition as well.
So coming up about midway on our journey on the Riverwalk, we're going to visit in Curtis Hickson Park. That is a great place where there are a lot of festivals. We do a ice skating rink every Christmas season, and there's also what we call the Art Square, where you're going to have the Tampa Museum of Art, the Straz Center, where you're going to see off-Broadway productions, as well as the Glacier Children's Museum, and there's also a museum of photography and a few other art museums as well.
Amy says you see off-Broadway shows there. I saw Cheech and Chong, so really...
Well, I mean, they have a lot of different things, but you can see a lot of displays and artistic events.
As well as Cheech and Chong.
And this is probably a good time to remind you to click that subscribe button. We always appreciate the subscribes, the likes, and of course, the comments. Do me a favor and thank Amy for her contributions to the channel. She only recently decided to be an on-screen personality. She's never been somebody who wants the spotlight. She didn't even want a Facebook account or an Instagram. So being on this channel is a favor to me, and I think she does a great job. Isn't she a great addition to World's Greatest Adventures?
All right, folks, across the way, you're going to see the University of Tampa with almost 10,000 undergraduates. It's one of the most gorgeous grounds in all of Tampa. You're gonna wanna check it out. This dates back to Henry Plant and the railroads in the early 1900s when they built this as a hotel for the railroads to have a destination for people to come in Tampa, and then the railroads would also take cigars to the rest of the country. With the Leafs coming in from Cuba, rolled in Ybor City. We'll do another video on that for sure. But a beautiful campus that you almost can't see because it's so lush.
So, about halfway on your walk in the Riverwalk, going from Channelside to Armature Works, you are going to come across Curtis Hickson Park. This is our waterfront park that is super dog friendly, and it hosts a variety of events throughout the year. You're gonna have ice skating rinks for Christmas. You're gonna have a ton of different concerts, lots of different venues, pop-ups, art fairs, markets, just about anything you can think of throughout the year right here at this park. And you're gonna see a lot of museums and art around us. We've got the Tampa Museum of Art, you have the Glacier Children's Museum, there's a photography museum right over here, and a lot of other really cultural elements that just make this place come alive and make it a wonderful destination.
And folks, there's a lot of fun places for kids, a lot of parks along the water. You can see everyone seeming to have a good time right outside the Glacier Children's Museum.
And there's the water taxi we've been telling you about. One trick is to park at one end of the Riverwalk, walk it, and then take the taxi back. And we're going to be giving away some big prizes, including cash, to new subscribers. So to qualify for that, make sure you click that subscribe button.
You know what? I absolutely love this dog park. You see there's a couple dogs in it now, but when it gets amped up, you get the big dogs and they will chase each other up this structure. There's a lot of stuff for your more fun and athletic dogs, as well as some areas just to hang out with their owners. But it's really nice that Tampa does have that dog-friendly feel, and that's why it's rated, as Amy said, one of the top dog-friendly cities in the United States. How cool is that?
So, if walking sounds a little bit much for you, don't worry. You can rent these really dope scooters absolutely anywhere along in Tampa. So no matter where you're going, you can rent a scooter and pretty much get from place to place. It's pretty awesome.
And you can see Amy has now crossed the street from the river to take you to the Straz Center. Performing arts. A few of my friends have worked here before. Like I said, I've seen a few comedians like Cheech and Chong and like stand-up comedians here. It's not the biggest venue, but it'll sit probably 1,500 people. We'll have to go check that out and see if we can get the exact numbers later. But the Straz Center is a great little venue for Tampa as well. Off-Broadway shows accordingly. So there's a lot of cafes, fountains, and things to see and do here on the Riverwalk. It's like one thing after another, whether you're eating outside the Straz or at one of the food vendors. There's Amy looking gorgeous. It's a fun place. So Amy, something else worth pointing out, not just you, but including you, there's a lot of attractive people out exercising here. So there's a lot of just joggers and bikers and bicycles and...
Tampa is a very fit, healthy, vibrant, young city.
Yeah.
Full of attractive people taking care of themselves.
And I think it says something about the city that people aren't afraid to be out here. Because I know there's a lot of cities that you wouldn't be downtown, you wouldn't be out jogging, you wouldn't be out with your dog or your kids on a swing. And there's a lot of places, little benches that are clean, safe, and you're kind of not disturbed when you're out here.
No, there is no litter in this area at all. It's super clean. It's crazy safe. I've been here all hours of the day, and it's just a supremely safe, wonderful part of the city.
Okay. So there's a little bit of a walk at this point, and then one of the next big stops is going to be Armature Works. How would you describe Armature Works?
So it's kind of an elevated food court. It has some of samplings of some of Tampa's most iconic restaurants. They kind of have a smaller concept where you can eat in and try some of their stuff, and maybe that makes you want to go to their flagship restaurant. But it's super fun. And there's also Eulalie down here, which is a Native American Floridian kind of fusion restaurant that's really fantastic. And Eulalie's restaurateurs are super famous in Tampa. They own Goody Goody and several other restaurant concepts as well. So that's all down here. Great spots to eat. So you're gonna get a lot of things to eat, things to drink, and some incredible views, as well as water taxi stops.
Something else worth noting is that this is all pedestrian safe. Like, we're gonna go under a bridge, so we don't have to worry about crossing a busy intersection. And go back 20, 30 years ago, Tampa wasn't so pedestrian friendly, and it wasn't so water friendly. Like, you could live here and never see the water. So now they've done a great job of opening this up and making it something that everyone can enjoy the beauties of Tampa Bay. We're on a bay, we should be able to see some water. And for anyone who's familiar with the Tampa skyline, this is the Sykes building. We more familiarly call it the beer can. Its primary tenant is the Sykes Company, so they have naming rights to it. But you will see this every time you look at the Tampa skyline because of its familiar shape.
Okay, so we've made our way to the end of the Riverwalk. We are here at Armature Works, which is a public market of a ton of different food stalls. We're gonna go in and see what we would like to treat ourselves to eat before we turn around and make our way back down the Riverwalk.
And like Amy said, we've made it to our destination. This is called Armature Works. It's a series of food vendors in downtown Tampa. It's actually in a district called The Heights, and it's an up-and-coming, very trendy area to live. Now, I'm gonna have to decide if I want tacos, some burgers, or maybe pizza, and I know Amy's picking out falafel. There's also an ice cream stand here that I can't wait to try out. What do you think, folks? Should I try this pizza? So I have to admit, every day with Amy is a bit of an adventure. It's wonderful having a partner that I enjoy going out and doing new things with. Go ahead and leave us a comment. What adventures are you taking anytime soon? Is anyone from Tampa? Live in the Tampa Bay area? Or coming here on vacation? Tell us your story. We'd love to hear from you. Again, this is a great time to click that subscribe button. Your comments are welcome. Click like or share this video on your social media for your friends to let them know about all that Tampa Bay has to offer. We, of course, do adventures all over the world. Japan, Thailand, Cancun, Costa Rica, Canada, even Delaware. So make sure to check out all of our fun adventures.
Come on, you're gonna miss it.
Arrive
All
at
right.
Chalifont Parking Garage.
We have 2 minutes left on our parking. So we're gonna get back to the car for the countdown. I think if you touch the car, you're safe, right? Amanda, if you touch the car, they can't give you a ticket. Made it.